going to say this real quick. It's about this freaking karaoke. But I was looking online just a minute ago, and I think this would be interesting. Hypnosis, not to be hypnotized. This isn't going anywhere. I can already tell this, but I'll say it anyway. No, I don't care to be hypnotized. I have not. The first time I ever saw a hypnotist was going to school as an exchange student in Dundee, Scotland. And the student union had 3 or 4 bars, and the biggest bar had all these freshmen or whatever. I wasn't a freshman. I wasn't really from there either. And this hypnotist was on stage, and he got 8 or 10 people up there to get on stage and be hypnotized. And I don't know. I never know I don't know why someone would fake it. I don't know why, but people, I don't understand people. So there might be people who would fake it, but apparently he was pretty successful. And this one guy, this big old boy, tall and broad, and I don't know, it was be a chicken or whatever, and the guy was totally a chicken, and they introduced him as a freshman, and I thought, that's really not how you want to start your college experience. This is first week. I think that's actually a term, first week of being there or whatever, and now you're the big old guy that got on stage in front of 120 rowdy, drunk co-eds. I don't know what. So that was the first time, and then I tried to get hypnotized for smoking cessation. And I went to this guy in Oklahoma City. I can't remember his name, but you'd think I could based on what I'm about to tell you. But, I don't know. I'd never been. No one's ever attempted hypnosis on me. So, and he tried, and I remember everything he said. I guess I was relaxed or something. Not really. And then he was something if you see just remember the color red, is a trigger for you to not smoke or something like that. And then I got out of there. I was I said that red is a whatever. So it didn't work, and he didn't have a refund policy, but instead of a refund, you could go back for a second go at it, a second bite at the apple. And so I went back, weeks later. And look, maybe he was a good hypnotist or whatever he was. I'll get to that in a minute. But he just did the same thing, right? And so, I imagine a lot of people's mind works the same way. That if I'm going into a room thinking the thing that's about to happen didn't work, I'm going to be way less receptive to the idea that it will work, and I think consequently that it would work. So, it didn't work the second time either at all, really for years. I quit smoking, but I can't attribute it to him. But it was weird because I can't remember what year that was, but it was maybe 3 years later or something. I don't even know if I was living here, but somehow I found out that this same hypnotist had been arrested for, I don't know what else you call it, sexual assault.
No. It's a no. It's a no. It's a no.
shit, I guess it pays to be resistant to hypnotism, because I guess there were some people who went in there because they did it for like smoking and weight loss or whatever. And I guess, multiple women, I don't know how many, but half a dozen, let's say, I guess he wasn't a very good hypnotist because they all remembered it. That's horrible. But anyway, the guy got arrested and, allegations of multiple. I don't know if he had a license, but certainly he didn't lose his license, maybe his freedom, right, for his horrible slant on hypnotism. But I don't think it was in the same news cycle that I heard this, but I think it was, I would say just weeks later, I also read or heard that the same guy accused of all these crimes had committed suicide in a motel. I don't know if it was a motel or a hotel or a Holiday Inn. And that's horrible, especially for everyone. The women, that's horrible. Man, what the hell? That gives hypnotists a bad name as much as that movie. I haven't seen that movie, It. The movie It, I think it's about a clown. If it is, that gives clowns a bad name, and that guy gives hypnotists a bad name. For those women, and it's tragic that he took his own life. I wonder if he hypnotized himself before he did it. He was like, "Oh man, I gotta get some." It wouldn't be Dutch courage. I don't know what nationality of courage hypnotizing yourself to enable suicide would be. And look, just if anyone reads all this, no one thinks suicide is good, right? No one does that. So he was a horrible doctor because he let those women down. It was horrible that he died. And I went to him twice, and I had to drive up there quite a ways. I lived probably by the time you get off the highway, we're like an hour away. And he didn't help me the first time. He didn't help me the second time. And you didn't get a third bite at the apple